Okay, so today is going to be, all of my sessions are pretty interactive, but it's going to be a little bit of a workshop style as well. I'm going to ask a lot of questions today, and hopefully we'll walk away with some content as well, if all goes as planned. So, okay, to start out with, I do have some notes. So FYI, I have you kind of in the minimize mini screen, so I can't see the chat right now. If you guys are putting anything there, so better to just unmute and talk if you have anything. Okay, so, and Pragati, I know it is probably late for you. So even if you just unmute and say, put something in the chat, then I'll go back to it. I don't know if you're trying to remain quiet for anybody in the household. Okay, what I want to talk about today is obviously content, and specifically creating content that connects to your audience and helps you to build credibility and to become an authority in your space, and creating content that ultimately this is going to drive people to want to buy from you. So I want to talk first a little bit more about your content and kind of how things are going for you, what's working, what's not. So I'm going to ask some questions, and you guys, I just want you to unmute. This is completely, no judgment zone, and want to just really hear how you guys are feeling, how things are going for you, because that's going to help us to get the most out of this session. Okay. So that being said, first question for y'all is, how do you feel about your content currently?
I have a up and down. Some days I feel good about it. Some days I'm like, I don't know, don't feel good about it.
Okay, so on the days that you feel good about it, what makes you feel good?
I think if I'm sharing something that's like an aha, like people don't know it, they learn something from it, but not in a super teachy way. Like, I feel like there's a certain way to share things where they learn something, where it's like it catches their attention rather than just telling them what it is, and then there's days where I feel really inspired to share. And for some reason, when I'm writing content, then I feel good about it. But if I'm not feeling it and I feel like I'm trying to force something to get it out, I just feel like it never is very clear and concise, and I just don't like it.
Okay, so I want to talk about that a little more. So what makes it feel forced?
I think I guess because, I don't have people necessarily reaching out to me, that makes me feel like, okay, well, my content, clearly something's wrong with it, which makes it feel hard after that thought. I'm like, oh, okay, so clearly I'm doing something wrong. So what is it? Kind of thing.
So why does it make it wrong? If you're sharing things that people need to hear, whether they're responding or not, what does that mean about you?
What do you, I don't know. What does that mean about me?
Yeah, like it feels hard to you, you're doing something wrong. You feel like something's wrong with it just because they're not reaching out. But does that mean that that's something wrong with you, or just that the algorithm didn't show it to them, or that they were busy, or like, what does it mean about you that people aren't reaching out to you?
I guess I'm just thinking like, okay, people are seeing my content, but it's not leading them to, still not leading them to action.
Okay. So when you feel like this, are people commenting or liking this at all, or it's just like nothing?
It's, people are liking it. I mean, obviously when you have a call to action about, your program or book a call or something, I know that leads to less engagement. That's normal.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get decent amount of engagement. That's not really the problem.
So it's just they're not buying.
Yes, they're not buying.
Okay.
So that like gets in my head of like, what am I doing wrong?
Does
Like,
that make your work any less important or any less valuable?
no, I mean, I know it's important. And it's valuable.
Okay. So what does it mean about you when they don't buy from you?
I guess it means maybe they're not sure I can actually help them. Or it could mean something about them. They're not ready to buy or to commit to themselves.
So it doesn't mean that your work is not important or valuable, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. I told you I was asking lots of questions today. Holly's in the hot seat first, but everyone else is going into the hot seat. Okay.
Fine.
Okay. So there's gonna be more questions, but
Mhm.
who wants to go next? Go ahead,
Well,
Kristen.
with mine, I've been doing mostly videos lately because I feel like I can express myself better in a video than writing something out.
Okay.
I see like all these long, great posts, and I just can never come up with that much content. I never know what to say or how to do it. So I feel like in a video, I can say what I want to say when I get inspired to do so. But like Holly was saying, if I don't feel that inspiration, it feels like I'm almost forcing it, not on everyone else, but on myself to try to come up with something and falling short, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And so what are the feelings that come up when that happens? Like what other feelings beyond like that you're falling short?
Um, to be honest, a lot of times it's like I get these feelings of what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I should just go back and get a regular job because I'm not cut out to be an entrepreneur. Just different things like that start coming up. And so I just end up avoiding the whole thing and not posting.
So so what I'm hearing from you is that you are worried about what people will think a little bit, maybe
Um,
if it feels
Not really what other people will think. It's more like myself as far as like I don't know what to write. I don't know how to write it. And so it all comes back to me. I mean, I've gotten pretty much over what other people think. I've been, posting more about my business on my Facebook page, and
Mhm.
good thing is the friends that I have been very supportive and sharing it. The what people that I was worried about, oh, they're going to be bothered by my posting about my business, they've been liking and hearting and sharing with their friends. So I really don't care what other people think anymore. It's more about what I think and internal, as far as being lost and feeling like I'm inadequate. But it's like I don't care what everybody else thinks, it's more of what I think, if I'm making sense. I don't know if I am.
It does make sense. I still am not convinced that those things aren't tied together, but yes, I
Okay.
get what you're saying exactly. And it is more about what you think and your own self-worth and your value. So do you see the value in the things that you have to say and things that you have to help people with?
I do. I just sometimes I feel like I am, it's kind of like an imposter syndrome. It's like, I see value in what I offer, but at the same time, I'm like, am I the one who's qualified to offer it? So a lot of it is imposter syndrome.
Okay. So if you weren't holding back, if nobody was looking, right? Because, right, I mean, I know you're saying you don't care what other people think, right? So, but if you don't care what other people think, what do you think that they actually need to hear? Like, imposter syndrome aside, let's say nobody's listening, you're not holding back at all. What are the things that you would want to say?
Basically, I want to, be able to let them know about search engine optimization, branding, the importance of having a website, the proper way to create your website as far as designing copy so that it's easy to navigate and also able to connect with your clients so that it's not all like, here I am, this is what I do, I'm so wonderful, but this is who you are, this is what you're going through. I understand, I can help, if that makes sense.
Mhm, mhm. So I want to go deeper on that though. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the fluff.
Hmm.
What do you really want to say to them? Like, doesn't need to be pretty and perfect in any format, but what are they doing? What are they not doing? What is holding them back from getting more business from their website, from doing the things from getting the results that they want?
That's what I need to figure out. If that makes sense. Because like, I know like if you don't have a good website, people aren't going to convert because people usually, your first impression is your most important, because when somebody lands on your website, they tend to only stay usually just a few seconds, like maybe 5 seconds or less. And the important thing, especially like for SEO and everything, is how is engagement, like keeping them there longer, keeping them engaged. And that's what's going to convert you. But if people just come to your website and the first thing is like, welcome, I'm so and so, and I've had 20 years experience, they're going to move on. So that's what I'm trying to still figure out, is where people are falling short, whether they don't have a website or if their website is not adequate to be able to get that across.
So why does someone need a website?
A website is good because when somebody first finds you, like say you're looking for something about, say, massage therapy, because I've worked with a lot of massage therapists.
Okay.
So you want to find a massage therapist in your area. So you'll Google massage therapist and it'll bring up like your Facebook and everything. So they'll look at your Facebook, but they want to dive deeper. They want to know, what do you specialize in? What are your prices and all of that? So then they'll go to your website to get that information to dive deeper. Also, they'll for your SEO strategy and your content, the more links you have to yourself, the easier it is for people to find. And the best way to do that is with a website, because with your website, that's like your hub where you have everything. And then from there, you link out to your Facebook, your Instagram, or whatever else, which is kind of like the fluff on top of the, your main story, which is your website, if that makes sense.
Okay. So basically, if someone finds you through a Google search in your area, they're going to go to your website to go deeper. If you aren't searchable on Google, or your page isn't optimized to show up on the first page, you'll never be seen. And if you're not seen, people won't buy.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm taking some notes here, so
No
that's
problem.
why the pause. Okay.
No, you're fine.
Okay, got it. Okay, anything else that you think, why do they need a website, or why why they're not getting clients, why they're not getting conversions on their website?
A lot of times it's because the website is either hasn't been updated in years because people think websites are not important anymore with social media. So a lot of times they're outdated. Other times they're not easy to navigate. Then there's, like I said, that they're talking all about them and what they do instead of connecting with the client and saying, you know, this is you, this is what you're going through. I understand. It's more like I said, it's like you first thing you see when you go to their website is, hi, I'm so and so, and I, you know, have a degree and blah blah blah, and I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and I'm wonderful and superior. And it's like they don't care about that.
Mhm.
And that's the hard part to say, is like people don't care about you, they care about themselves and what you can do to help them. And sometimes that can be kind of harsh and the brutal truth to say that, because some people might get offended.
So what if you said that on social media? How would that make you feel?
Well, I've said it a few times, but like I said, my posts are usually like very short.
Mhm.
And then like I see like these other entrepreneurs and they post like these long posts, and even I have trouble like reading through them. I'm just like, oh, that's just too much text, you know, get to the point. So usually I have always had trouble like with long form text. With me, I just usually it's like straight to the point and move on. And so I do want to get to the point of writing that long form text, because like with emails and, you know, because I feel like you
Mhm.
guys that do these long posts have better conversion rate, because, you know, it's all about connection, and those longer posts connect better than just a short comment or a short statement, if that makes sense.
Do you think that's true, or do you think that's a story that you're telling yourself?
It could be a story that I'm telling myself.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Because let me tell you, like, some of my best converting posts are the short ones, not the long
okay.
ones. The long ones, a lot of times, those are more for engagement. A lot of times, and if you look at my long posts lately, they are more like engaging posts rather than ones that are meant to convert. So,
Okay.
and I also wanted to ask you the question of, okay, so I know your target audience, right? Women,
Mhm.
female entrepreneurs with ADHD. And you
Mhm.
said something, when you're going through content, you have a hard time even going, like, reading it, because you need to move on, right? Like, you just
Mhm.
want to quick to the point. Do you think that has anything to do with your ADHD?
Actually, yeah, I think it does.
So do you think your ideal clients feel the same way as you?
More than likely, yeah.
So do you think it matters that you don't have long form content?
No.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
good. So now we're going to move on to the next.
Uh,
So, permission granted, you don't have to write long form content. Um, okay, good. Yeah, just looking in the
okay.
notes. And for those that joined later, just FYI, I do have like some notes that I'm going by, and I'm taking notes on the things that you guys are saying today. So I'm minimizing the Zoom. So if you're going to typing, if you have something to say to me, unmute and talk it rather than going in the chat, because I will probably not see it in the chat. So, okay. Pragati, do you want to go next?
Sure, I'm feeling pretty much what Holly and Kim had just said. And I'm grateful we had a session. I was saying pretty much the same thing, but yes, ask away.
Okay. So we'll start with you with the same kind of question. So how do you feel about your content?
I think it's fine actually for a beginner. I think I've just started properly posting, and I'm getting people liking my content. Um, so I think it's a very good start. Is it going to make people buy? I don't know. Where is this heading? I don't know. But I guess my task is to post every weekday also to build up the know, like, and trust factor. And as we said, it could take months. So I can't judge myself. But yes, I've been feeling like, oh my God, this is so much. Being an entrepreneur isn't as easy as I thought it would. I hope I can streamline this or automate this in future. But sorry, I got carried away with the question.
Nope, no, there's no carried away. Like I said, I want to hear what's coming up, what the feelings are about it. Because the thing is, guys, or gals, I guess, because it's all ladies here today, the way we feel about our content is going to influence the results that it brings us. And so the more you can actually like do the work around how you're feeling about it, how it makes you feel when you're writing it, how it makes you feel when you're putting it out there, like the fears, the imposter syndrome, any of these feelings that come up, it's really important to talk about them and to recognize them and to do the work to work through them and to manage. So again, like what Kim was saying, you know, like she feels blocked when she goes to write this long form content. She can't do it. But as we just realized, like talking through it, she doesn't even need to do it. And that's something that's stopping her. So that's why it's important to, so you can talk away, answer as many, say as much as you want here about how it's making you feel, what comes up. So yeah. So my question for all of you too, and you too, Pragati, I meant to ask this to Kim and Holly too. What do you do when people do engage with your content? So not that they're sending you a message saying, hey, I'm ready to buy, but if they comment or they like, how do you react to that? And Pragati, you can go first since, you know, we're talking, but I would be curious to hear what everybody has to say here.
And that's the thing, they're liking it, and I'm thinking, I'm second guessing myself. So I'm saying the content is okay. I'm very proud of myself that I produce something and it's of a good standard. They're liking it, and I'm thinking, okay, this person's already an established coach. What can I say to them? Are they, because this is not my target market. Some of them are men and some of them are female. So I'm thinking, are they being sneaky and liking it so that they can get publicity by liking my post and people can see their name? So I'm not quite sure what to do because I'm trying to analyze the people that are liking and engaging.
Are you reaching out to them? Are you getting to know them? Are you asking them what they liked about it?
No, I didn't, because I thought there was no point. One of the, as I said, one of them was a man, not my ideal target market at the moment. Two of them were established coaches. So I thought, these people are not my clients. What am I going to say? But I could reach out and say, hi, what did you like about my post? But could I do that every day? It's the same people liking my posts every day.
Well, I mean, yeah, you don't have to reach out every day. And yeah, exactly. A guy may have referrals. He may have a wife or sister.
Yeah.
You never know.
True.
You never know. And yeah, I mean, you don't have to reach out to the same people every single day, but you just never know what somebody might be interacting with you for. And you know, sometimes there's people that we think are beyond what we have to share, but we don't know if we don't talk to them, right? I mean, there's people in this membership that I would have, like, a while back probably hesitated to reach out to if they interacted with my content, because I would have assumed they already know what they're doing, right? And I have clients right now that they don't need me. They're already doing good. They're already established, but that's an assumption on your part, you know. And I'm not just saying this to you because I think this is something that a lot of people do. You don't know why someone is contacting you. And I'm going to use an example, actually, Kristen, since you're here, because we've done this to each other. Like, you know, Kristen posted something about her offer and I've posted something about my offer, and you know, Kristen actually did it first and I liked it, and she sent me a message and she's like, hey, just, you know, thanks for, you know, liking my post or whatever. Just wanted to reach out. Were you just, you know, being supportive or did you want more information on it? And the thing is if you don't ask, you don't know. And in that case, I was just being supportive. And that might be the case with some of these people, but even supportive people, I'm obviously going to refer Kristen, right? And she's going to refer me. So having that relationship with those people, even if they're not going to buy, is important. So, I'm curious from the rest of you, what do you do when somebody interacts with your content? Not, okay, fine, they didn't buy, they didn't send the message, they didn't say I'm in, whatever, but they gave you some emojis, or they made a comment, or they liked it. What do you do?
If they comment, I always comment back. Sometimes I will DM, it really just depends on, it just depends. I'm not as consistent with that, but for the likes, I know I need to do better about reaching out to those people.
And, it's not saying, I know I need to do better, but I could do better, right? And so Kristen just said, I have had people I thought were just being supportive turn around and go, yes, I wanted more information, and they bought. Exactly. So sometimes people, they're interacting with your content. If they are interacting with your content, you should be interacting with them. And fine, if the same person is liking everything every day, like a lot of you are very active on my page and interacting with my content, I'm not going to reach out to you every single day and say, hey, do you want to buy what I'm selling? But at the same time, I know that I need to maintain that relationship with people who are showing up every day, because they're either already in my world, or maybe they have somebody that they can refer to, or that they themselves want to buy something from me. You just never know. So beyond the actual content that we're writing, it's important to say, okay, they're just liking it, nobody's commenting, nobody's buying, but maybe they might if you take that a step further. So okay, Pragati, back to you. Is there anything else when it comes to your content? Anywhere that you feel stuck? I mean, I know you said a lot of the same feelings as Holly and Kim, but anything else you wanted to share?
One thing that came up when Kim was talking is, on my website, I've got my offers, and I think I said this to you, and I thought that they need to be written better. And you said, no, I just need to feel better about them when I'm talking to people about my offers. So it's working on my energy and my mindset. There's part of me thinking, okay, I need to rewrite some of the offers. I need to rewrite my value statement. If my social media profiles, as my shop front were sharper, as well as my website, I don't think Kim would be impressed by my page, but never mind. If it was all sharper, then I would get a better chance. So, but I've heard of people that had nothing, and they just went out and spoke to people on Facebook, got clients. And I think you said that as well, didn't you? You said you said that, and that's what's giving me hope. But there was a point, I won't lie, during this weekend, same as Kim, I was thinking, I can't do this. Who am I kidding? This is too much work. I better give up now. I'm going to look really stupid, because I've been trying all this time and it's so much effort. And who am I to think that I can do all of this? But then I look at my gift and what I think is I'm here on the planet to do. And I'm thinking, can I let a piece of technology, which might or will only get better in future, stop me? Because I really feel that this is my calling, even though I might not be at my peak or my best now. In future, this is what I want.
Yeah,
to leave behind. So that's what kept me going. But I did want to give up, thinking, oh my God, I have no understanding of what I'm doing.
Well, again, that's a normal feeling. So let's just all acknowledge that. And I think Kim will probably second me on what I'm about to say. As you heard her say, she was talking about a massage therapist in her local area. You are an online coach targeting the online space. So a website has a different impact on your business as it does to a brick and mortar business. If you are targeting, and you might disagree with me, Kim, but like if you are a coach, okay, in the online space, it's going to be very, very hard for you to, if someone's searching for a health coach, okay, Holly, right? They're going to search for a health coach. They just type in health coach on Google. How likely do you think it is that Holly's going to come up on the first page? Kim, you can, you can tell me honestly from the web designer perspective.
I think if you're typing in health coach, and it depends on, like I said, her website, her SEO, she could, like, okay, say I'm looking for, again, it goes back into, if I just type in health coach, probably not. But if I type in something like, nutrition, or, something around what she does, that's specifically what I'm looking for, then of course there's a better chance.
Right. But how many nutritionists are there in the country? Just
There
in the
is-
US.
Yeah. There
So
is
how
quite a
likely is
bit.
it that her website is going to be seen? Now, if she is targeting her local market and she said nutritionist and health coach you're in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
In Nashville,
So,
that would be a different thing, right?
right.
So, and Pragati, the reason I said you don't need a website right now is because you don't need a website. And I do think that Kim would probably agree. Like, you have to just go out and put yourself out there because you have no audience. You haven't really established yourself yet. You can't just put out a website and expect people to come. You have to talk to people, and you're going to have the conversations with people right now. And that's how they're going to most likely find you, because you are not targeting your local area, correct? Okay.
Yeah,
So-
yes.
Now, a website is more important as you grow and you are more established in your business and you found your voice, because that's the thing. Right now, you haven't found your voice. So to Kim's point, you're not going to, and you don't know your clients enough yet to even speak directly to them. So you're going to put a bunch of stuff on a website, spend weeks, if not months, building this perfect website that nobody's going to come to, because you haven't done the other work first. So you're right. It is your mindset. It is doing the work around yourself first. That comes secondary. So that's what I mean by, like, yeah, you should have what I have a website though. And I'll tell you, it's not up to date because most of my people are not finding me through my website. It's a secondary, but for people, my wedding planning business, I don't even do social media anymore for that. It's all search engine optimization and referrals. Like, that's all, that's the only way people find me. So because it's local to the Virgin Islands, it's a different thing. So yeah, just to touch on that a little bit. So back to content. I want to get back to that. So Raina or Kristen, do you want to talk about how you feel about your content?
I can go.
Okay.
So I gone a long way thanks to all of you and Mahendra and everything. Content wise, I feel I'm much better. I still need to refine my messaging, but I don't feel guilty when I can't post, because I'm like, if it's not serving my audience, if I just post without really anything to say.
Mhm.
So I stop doing those silly posts when doesn't make sense. Now I feel, I always reframe my mind when I start panicking. I'm like, all right, stop. What do they need to hear today? And this is the sentence that I kind of say to myself. And then I'm like, okay, they feel anxious about money. And then I start writing about, so what's the emotion or the thought behind it, blah, blah, blah. And it's much better. I have took off the critical, nasty Sally in my mind to be like, just say what you know will help, what is on your heart, and what they need, not what you want to say, which is this totally different shift that I made. which being pretty cool, because now I'm like, okay, what does she need? My ideal audience, like right now, what is she struggling with? Oh, she's having an overwhelmed panic attack because she just want to look at her numbers, like, I can't do that. So yeah, and I've been learning to how do you call it, storytelling. Like, I've been trying to really try to tell a story, even if it's a short one, but like, have you been in this situation and the client was in there and then they felt this way and then this is what we did and then here what happened. Like, I got out of my teaching head, which is, I love teaching, but I'm always like, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, but it doesn't help them if they don't connect with it. So that's why I'm trying to learn to do better. And so I'm thanks to all of you, I'm happy. I think content, I'm okay.
Yay!
Yeah, content, I'm fine. It's just the tech part of using content or getting clients where it's like a vampire is sucking my blood out of my hand. I'm lethargic. With like bank payment and all this, that's the problem. But content's been great. So thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, so Kristen, do you want to share anything?
So I am constantly tweaking and doing different messaging, which has been working. So far I like that where it's going, and now I've added in more kind of educational posts along with different engagement things. So
And what do you mean by educational?
Educational as to what this will do for you. You know how Janet always says, what's in it for them? You know, so doing more posting as to what's the benefit of cash management? What's the benefit of doing this? Why is it important that this is done? You know, and then talking even more about kind of a well-rounded business. That business isn't just leads and sales. Having a strong foundation from a cash flow standpoint means a lot to your business. So that's what I mean as far as educational, and then telling more stories of transformation of clients. So most of my posting that I do, everything on Facebook is all designed to go to my course, which is a one-on-one group program. None of it goes to fractional CFO services, just so you know the difference.
Okay.
So,
and is it converting pretty well for you, your content?
It is. It has been. I'm doing more market research to try to get it to convert better, because ideally I'd like it to just
hold on. Did you mute? What just happened? Did anyone else hear her?
No, I can't hear anymore.
You lost your sound. Kristen, but you're not muted, so I don't know what happened. Your headset die? Or can you still hear us through the headset? Okay.
Now my mic working?
Yep, now I hear you.
What was the last thing you asked?
I just asked if it's converting the way you want.
Yeah, it's converting. It's just, I'd like it to convert. Ultimately, what I want to do with this program is basically just have a funnel of leads and eventually get it to the point, since I run it once a month, that people literally can, if they don't want to do it this month, they can do it next month. And they can choose the dates, and then, it's a limited 20 people,
Okay.
and basically convert it to ads and it being automated.
Okay. Sorry, your sound is still a little funky, but I think I got that. So thank you. Okay. anyone else have anything they want to talk about when it comes to your content? Because now I kind of want to do a little exercise here.
Can I just ask a question for
Yeah.
Kristen? I just didn't understood. She says her content, she's linking to her one-on-one what?
So I do a kind of like a hybrid group program
Oh, okay.
every month.
All right.
So, and it's kind of, you know, it's live instruction. It's all about building out a 90-day plan, cash flow management. How do you manage your cash? So
Okay.
in some respects, it's kind of like a course because it's just a short, intense teaching.
Mhm.
But then the one-on-one pieces, you and I work together, like whoever's in the course, work together behind the scenes to go over
Okay.
your particular, so that you know how to not just, that you can apply it, I guess. Is the
Perfect.
thing, right? A lot of times we take courses and we don't know how to apply to us. So I
Mhm.
give you that ability that you now know how to apply to you and how to move forward with your own
Cool.
information in a
Thank you.
one-on-one.
Okay.
Awesome.
Lori, I
Yeah.
think I have a fear of being successful because I just looked and someone replied, and I'm thinking, why is she talking to me? And that's exactly what I wanted, but I'm a bit scared of this response. I think there's a part of me that's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's successful. Now I have to talk to them, which is really silly, but that's exactly what's going on in my head. That's what I wanted.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, but what's wrong? I can talk to all of you. Why can't I talk to her? Of course I can.
Mhm. That's honestly a very common thing too that comes up for a lot of people. It's you actually get the response and they give you the opportunity to get a conversion and you don't know what to say. You judge yourself. You have that imposter syndrome, fear that they might say no if you do it, or again, yeah, the fear of success. And what happens if they do say yes? Like, and it's really important to understand these things about our content, because the content isn't just as simple as just writing something and putting it out. If it was, everybody would have amazing content, right? And no one would ever have any blocks about their content. Everybody would write amazing. So that is very good to recognize now, because I think it's important to do some work around that feeling. Like, absolutely, because the other work that you're going to do, and you're going to put out really good content, and then it's not going to convert because you're not going to allow it. You're going to block it. Okay, so I liked what Kristen had to say when, what did I write? I think I actually wrote it down and you said it. Why it's important that this is done. So going back, I think it was with Kim. Yeah. That I asked you, like, what do you want to say? What do they need to hear? Why do they need these things? That is the most important thing. So I have several more questions here, but for purposes of time, I want to kind of jump a little ahead here and to talk about what I call power posts. Okay. Power posts being, sometimes they're going to convert, sometimes they are just to help build the authority and credibility. But these power posts, Kim, you'll like this, they don't have to be long. I'm saying like 2 sentences, okay? And it really does come back to, like, what do they need to hear? Why? Okay, so for instance, like, look at the format like this. So it's, the reason X isn't working for you is because you aren't doing Y, or because you are doing Y. But when you do Z, you're going to get the result you want fast, quickly, easily, whatever, right? It's literally 2 sentences. But that, going back to Holly too, what you were saying earlier, like, when you feel really jazzed about your content is when people have those aha moments, right? And it's inspirational, but not in the, like, fluffy, inspirational quote kind of way, but in a way that like makes them stop and be like, damn, Holly's calling me on my crap. Like, whew, okay, yeah, like aha moment, or like, oh my God, I had never thought about it that way. And when we make people have those moments, that is the types of things that are going to convert. That's the things that's going to make them think deeper. Like you can have and when this is Kristen too, I asked like, what kind of educational post when you said that, because back to what Raina was saying, like, you know, she's kind of shifted away from those educational posts where it's like, do 1, 2, 3, and this is how you do this, and this is how you do that. And yeah, you can do that, but they can Google stuff, right? They can Google how to do things. It's not about telling people how, it's about them understanding the why the things that you have to say are important. So like an example of a post that I've done recently, and it says, your fear of lead generation is stopping you from getting clients. If you're doing attraction marketing and not attracting clients, something needs to shift. Right? So for someone that's struggling with getting clients, that's going to be more of an aha moment. And I could say, the reason that you're not getting clients is because you're not doing lead generation correctly, and attraction marketing doesn't work if you're not doing this, that, or the other thing. In order to attract, you need to do this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, you can tell them that, but that's not going to stop the scroll. The thing that's going to stop the scroll are those power posts. So what I would like to do today is a little bit of an exercise with you all, is to get you more comfortable and confident with the idea of just doing some of those shorter posts. And how to kind of write those so that they are written in a way that really connects with your audience. So how does that sound?
Good.
Good. Okay. The formula again, yes. Actually, I'll just copy. Have it typed it out, so I had it for this very reason, Raina. Okay. There you go. And you don't have to use like those exact words, because like I said, you know, like the one that I'll give you my example here. So I didn't say the reason it isn't working, but I said your fear of this is what's stopping you. So it's that same concept, right? So what I want from all of you now, Kim, you already kind of did this, so yours is going to be easy. I actually kind of already wrote a post based on what you said. But I still want you to do this exercise. Okay, so I want to know if nobody, like, if you weren't worried about offending people, pushing people away, if you didn't care what they thought, if you were totally full in behind what it is that you're talking about, there was no imposter syndrome, you didn't care about any of that, what can you tell them that they need to hear? If you weren't holding back, what would you say? Okay, and you don't need to put it in this format right now. I just want you, I'm just putting this question in the chat, and you can type it in the chat if you want. Or you can sit alone. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just look at your thing. I'm gonna be taking your second option. So for me, as my clients are Christian, so your fear of money is stopping you from getting clients. If you are doing all the things your business coach telling you to do, but you're still hearing cricket, you need to work on your money mindset. Is that all right?
Yeah, okay, so I would say something along the lines of, I'm typing it here. Sorry, I can't type and talk anymore. Okay, so I would say something more along the lines of, if you're doing all the right things and you're still not earning the money you desire, it's not because, or hold on, lost my train of thought there. I had a perfect one for you here, Raina. Okay, so the reason, so if you're doing all the right things and you're still not earning the money you desire, it isn't your strategies that are stopping you. When you are confident in say what you said again, Raina.
What did I say? Let me just go back. Your fear of money is stopping you from getting clients. If you are doing all the thing, I don't remember exactly what I say, and hearing cricket or not attracting clients, you need to work on your money mindset.
Okay, so yes, I think that's slightly different from what you said before, but I like it better. So your fear of money is stopping you from getting clients. When you do the work to overcome, or work to not overcome, what's the word I want to use, to master your money mindset, you will allow money in more easily, or something along those lines. Sorry, I'm trying to type it. So your fear of getting money is stopping you from getting, fear of money is stopping you from getting clients.
Oh.
Okay, right? Does that sound right?
Yeah, because they have been told at church that money is evil. So
okay. Got it. Okay, so what do they need to do in order to overcome their fear of money?
oh, we need to just go back into the Bible and actually read the Bible verse. I mean, it's just been misused so many times, and so we got to rewrite that story because it's incorrect. So for the poverty mindset, there is the Bible verses that we need to get into, and the realization that money is a tool. The way you approach it and what you do with it could be the problem, but it's not money itself. Like money is neutral. It's not gonna. It's only gonna amplify who you are. If you are a jerk and then we have more money, you will just stay a jerk. But if you're someone that's giving and loving, you'll probably be blessing so many other people.
Okay, so is it the fear of money then that is stopping them?
Yeah, they're so scared of having money, of being successful, because it's bad. If they have money, that's mean with every verses that you read in the Bible taken out of context, it's mean that you're not gonna go to heaven. You're not gonna be loved by God. Do you imagine feeling and believing that as a Christian? Of course, you will want to work in your business, but you don't want to make money. Like Pragiti was saying, you will feel like, no, I shouldn't be having money. So there's a different thing than the scarcity. It's not the same. Scarcity is just being scared of not having enough or not being enough, but that's a different fear.
So is it the fear though, is it related to God, or is it?
Yeah, the fact of not belonging to the family of God, because if you're rich, you're greedy and you're bad. So it's a really misunderstood, twisted Bible teaching.
So more about than their fear of money, but it's more about their fear of being seen as bad if you have money and success is what is stopping you from having the things that you desire. When you understand, or when you, hold on.
Mhm.
I'm having trouble with the second part of yours.
That's okay. You can go to another
So that's the
person.
first part right there. 'Cause I
I
think that's
understand.
what it is. Okay. So
Wait.
the fear of being seen as bad if you have money and success is what is stopping you from having the things that you desire. Something along those lines. But if you want to work God into that, and then the second part is, so it's not really a fear of money, it's a fear of being seen as bad or being a bad Christian if they have money. Correct?
Yeah, that's right. It's if they have money, it's bad. Like wanting to be successful is bad. And ultimately, like you say, it's because of what people will think and also what God will think if they believe a really wrong perspective on what God says about money.
Yeah. So when you act, so the second part could be something along the lines of when you do the work to understand
God's
God's,
characteristic.
yeah, or
God's
God,
character.
how God really feels about you having money, and in doing the work around stewarding money wisely, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
That you use, that they say a lot of. When you steward money wisely in God's vision, you can have money and success while still being a good Christian.
Yeah.
So something along those lines, but maybe probably want to shorten it up a little bit, because if you do it on the color block post on Facebook, if you're
Oh,
on,
yes, true.
that's part of why my struggle here is, because I'm trying to keep it short so that you guys can
Yes.
use color block, because you're going to get algorithms respond better to those than just like a white background. If you are
Oh.
going to have it longer, make sure you have an eye-catching image that is going to stop the scroll with it. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're
Sorry, I
welcome.
made your
And
brain
I just
work
realized, sorry, I
harder.
just realized we were at the hour. I'm still good to go for a little longer if you guys want to stay on for a few more minutes, because I would like to go through some of the rest of yours. Are you guys good? Okay. And if not, if you've shared your stuff, I can still do some stuff with you here, but my goal is for everybody to kind of get some takeaway here. Okay, so you got to jump off, Kristen. Okay, we'll see you later. Okay, so I got two, got some in there. Okay.
Did you want us to put it in the box there or just tell you? Sorry.
Either or. If you put it in the box, it's easier for me to like go back and look at it, but you don't have to.
Oh.
You can say it out loud too.
Okay.
Okay. Pragati, this is actually quite good. I would say, you don't need to put, like, if you want just like the power post, right? The thing that's to a point to get them to stop the scroll. You don't even need like the first part, the reclaim your balance, empowering work life. Like, you don't need that. The first part here, the reason why you're overwhelmed is because you're working endless. You believe working endless hours is the only path to financial success. And I think you can get rid of the game, but here's the game changer, and say, when you reclaim your power and implement smart systems to work more efficiently, you'll unlock a greater work-life balance. Bam. You don't need the end stuff either. It's time to work smarter, not harder. You can just be much more direct, honestly, because the fluff around it is what is going to get people to not really see the true message. The true message is the meat in there. Like, you've already got the meat right there. Okay. So, Holly, you're doing. Okay. So if you're doing all the right things and still not seeing results, I'd get a little more specific, because, like, yes, that's true, but what are they doing? What are all the things?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I need to spell out, but then I feel like that's going to make it longer, but
Well, what is it? What are you thinking? What is it that they're doing?
They've changed their diet. I mean, I could just stick with that. If you've changed your diet and still not seeing results, I could stick to one thing, or I could, if it was,
You
because
could
that's
have,
the first thing.
you could have multiple posts about different things.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing. Like you maybe don't post them all right in a row, like Monday through Friday, so it's the same sentence. But the thing with this format is that you can use, and you can use the same post, by the way, guys. You can use the same post over and over. Just give it if you're only posting once a week, then you're going to probably wait a little longer before repurposing that. But if you're posting 5 days a week, and if you want to repeat your content on a monthly basis, like maybe don't do it in the exact same order. But thing is, most people aren't seeing your content. Most people aren't reading your content, and that's not to make anybody feel bad. It's just plain truth. It's that way the algorithms work. Most people are not seeing it or reading it or looking at it. Most people are not going to buy from you. So you can repurpose your content and use it. Not just repurpose it, meaning like, here, take this video and then create a reel from it, but literally just reuse the same content. And then you can use that same format with multiple aspects, because yes, with you, some of them are exercising, some of them are eating right or doing a specific diet, or you might want to even get more, if you cut out gluten, but you're still experiencing joint pain and digestive issues, it's because you haven't addressed the root causes of your health problems, right? Like you could use it specifically in specific scenarios there.
Yeah.
And do the same thing over and over and over. Or if you're eating healthy, but your body still feels like crap, it's because you're not doing the right things for your body. And when you address that root cause, you can get results quickly.
Yeah, I feel like mine can be done in so many different ways and different things, because I wanted to do something about stress, like
Okay.
although
So
I
what
think-
is stress? What do they need to hear about stress? What do you need to say?
that they can be doing all the right things, diet, exercise, whatever, but if they still live a stressful lifestyle that is not like an unmanageable, stressful lifestyle, or living in a state of stress, their body is still in a state of dysfunction and inflammation. And it cannot heal in that state. So that's probably not exactly how I would say it. I have to reword it, but
Okay. I'm kind of typing something out here, so just give me a minute.
That's so true, Holly. You need to talk more about that.
which
Uh-huh.
one?
Like the stress, like I've been trying to lose weight like forever, but the stress that I am under and the pain, it's just a vicious cycle. So no matter what I'm doing, my body's still in like fight and flight mode. So the cortisol is so high. I'm always so hungry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Cortisol is the yes, it's our stress hormone. It's also our anti-inflammatory. So wherever there is inflammation, cortisol goes. Most people have inflammation in their gut from their stress. So then cortisol goes there. And it's just like you said, it's a vicious cycle of inflammation, and it's all, yeah. Yeah.
So,
Right.
I'm gonna address that comment from you, Pragati, in a second here, because yes, you probably should talk to Holly. But okay, so what do they need to do in order to feel better and to heal from that stress?
They have to, their reaction to stress and their lifestyle has to change. I'm trying to think of how I would shorten this, because it's kind of a multi approach. because there's the mindset piece of it and there's a physical piece of it. First, it's like getting out of that state or fight or flight.
Yeah, you don't have to do it all in one post either.
Right, yes.
Um,
Yeah, yeah. That's good. I like that. Yeah.
And I mean, you can say it'll allow your body to heal with ease. It'll allow you to feel, or you'll feel better. Say, here's another one. If you adjust your lifestyle to reduce your stress, your body can heal and you'll feel better quickly.
That's a nice one.
These are good.
Save the chat, by the way.
I know, I'm like, how do I save it? Oh, save chat. Okay, sorry.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, anxiety. Holly could teach so much. Maybe, maybe Holly needs to do some guest speaking here and for all of you, because the thing is with entrepreneurs, I also have gut issues. Have talked to Holly about my issues, and it's really, really common in this entrepreneurial space with the anxiety, the stress, and you can feel like you're doing things right and you're being healthy, but you're not really taking care of the root problems. Exactly. So true. And people so need to hear what you have to say, Holly. And again, power posts, and it can be short. You don't have to do long form content. You can just do easy to the point.
Yeah. Well, and just to sidebar, to piggyback on what you just said about entrepreneurs, is like, I got out of corporate America and thought it was good. I thought, oh, I'm like not in that stressful environment anymore. But my body remembered that state, and I was physically still carrying the stress because I'm that's what I was used to. And like, I would notice my shoulders are like up to my ears at the end of the day. And I'm like, why am I like, I don't have like presentations to go present to a CEO. Why am I still doing this? So I had to like work to get my body out of that, to like learn a new way, essentially. So you're right. It's like it is so common in entrepreneurs, even though it's a different type of, might be different from, say, your previous world, like it was mine, but.
Yeah, but again, it's a different kind of stress, and it's like this world of self-judgment, fear, like all the things that you guys said that contribute to that. So there's so much that you can be saying, Holly, and again, it can just be these short little things, and you can just make them really quick and to the point. And as you guys are doing this, I encourage you to, like, if you're writing stuff and you want to share it in Voxer too, for a little bit of play back and forth here, and feedback, or saying like, yeah, this is what I have, or this is what I'm trying to say. Can you help me? Happy to do that. Absolutely. I mean, now don't come to me with 30 pieces of content and be like, I'm working on my content plan for June. Lori, can you help me rewrite this? But within reason. Okay.
And Holly, you can tell them that thinking you can reduce the cortisol by eating chocolate is not going to help in the long term.
Yeah, it doesn't help in the long term now. Yeah,
I know.
or lots of other things that people reach to when they're stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kim, I've got yours here now too. So if you aren't getting versions on the website, okay, so I'm just looking at yours here, Kim. So if they're not getting results that they want from the website, so let's get more specific. They're not getting sales, conversion, what is it that they want? Not just results. Hold on, I can't hear you now, Kim, either. Same thing that happened with Kristen, because you're not.
Sorry
on
about that.
There we go. Okay.
I forget that I mute my actual mic sometimes. Basically, like if they're not getting like sales or conversions or appointments or just,
Okay. So. Working on it here. What about that, Kim? Oh, you're muted now.
I like that. That works.
Okay. Okay. So you see, I basically took what you said, but you're just saying it in a different way, right?
Mhm. Right.
And again, it's the power post, because it's kind of like, oh, right. And like to your point too, if you can also say, if your website is all about you, nobody's going to buy.
Mhm.
If you want a website that converts, you need to speak directly to your people.
Okay.
There's another one, which here, do a little wave if you want that one, because I didn't type that one out. I just said that one out loud. You'll have to come back to the recording for that.
Yes.
But yeah,
Or also, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're
Another
fine.
thing I was thinking, like, something about, because I know a lot of people, like, especially like in the medical field or whatever, or they like to use jargon and these big words that people have no idea. Like,
Mm.
with the cortisol, that's awesome if you know what it is, but most people don't know. So, like their wording could be something like your wording could be too scholarly or like too over their head, just keep it simple, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Spelled easily wrong, but not there. I think it's what you're trying to get across there, right?
Yeah, it's a start. I
Mhm,
can work with that.
mhm. And again, these are like 2-sentence ones.
Mhm,
And you can even take some of these, like, because you do like to do videos, you can,
mhm.
do some of these, as like, you incorporate this into video, the same
Okay.
concept into video as well. But any of these things that I'm typing, if you guys want to copy it, use it, tweak it, whatever,
Definitely,
but
yes.
this is for you. My goal is for you guys to walk away with some content that you feel like you can use. So you said that could work. So what about this doesn't work, other than the spelling mistake?
Um,
What do you want to say?
let's see.
You might need to shorten it, I guess, and say
Yeah.
if you use the word, use your people's words,
Mhm.
and they will convert.
Yeah. If your website is full of words people don't use, let's see. If people can't understand what you're saying, they won't buy. It's better to use simple words that will resonate and convert more easily, something like around that.
Okay, so hold on. People don't understand what. Oh, sorry, I lost it now. If people don't understand what you're saying, they aren't going to convert.
Mhm.
When your website speaks to directly to the needs of your people, say people, you can switch it up. Let's see, what about that?
I like that better.
Okay. And how do you feel about saying that? Do you feel like you can stand behind saying, if you do this, then people are going to buy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is ultimately when it comes down to creating this kind of content. I mean, it's 2 sentences, and sometimes it's just brainstorming, like your thoughts, the things that they need to hear, like the things that are coming up, your feelings, like what you think about what people are doing, what they really should be doing, what they need to hear. And yes, sometimes you have to smooth those words out a little bit, right? So that you're not being a jerk, and being like, if your website sucks, people aren't going to buy from you. So stop sucking, and then people will buy. Like, yeah, you're not going to say that, right? Even though
Right.
sometimes you might think that.
Mhm.
Oh, we're outside in New Zealand. I always love seeing outside of people's houses. Can you give us just a little view here, Raina?
Yeah,
of your
that's the bag, like, how you call it?
backyard.
Backyard, thank you. It's just because the neighbor's cat just arrived and he's
Oh.
stopping my cat from going in
I'm
because she's scared of him. So I need to try to rescue her and put him in, yes. But I have a question that has nothing to do with content.
Yeah.
I have kind of a win. Somebody booked a sales course for like in 4 hours or 3 hours.
Nice.
That's cool. And so I've been talking to that person for maybe 6 months and been going through free content and helping her. And she still is in a situation where she doesn't have money. So I know she needs my help. And I know the program that will be good for her, which is about 1,700 something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would need to tell her the price, and she feel like she can't even have enough for her own needs. So what will you do with that? Because I know it's physically she can't afford it, but I can't be just working for free. And I gave her all the free stuff that I could give her already.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And sometimes people aren't ready to make that move. Because the thing is I have plenty of people in my world who probably technically couldn't afford to work with me. I've hired coaches when I technically could not afford to work with them. My first real high ticket coach that I hired, I took money from my retirement fund. I cashed into my retirement fund. That was the only way. My credit cards were maxed out at the time. My credit wasn't very good. I couldn't take out a loan. I didn't have other options. So I found the money. I've had clients, do similar things now because I was ready. And I also, have hired a a coach because I knew that, you know, and I mean, I've been working with this coach off and on for a while, but I started working with her one-on-one several months ago, and it was over $10,000, honestly, to
Wow.
work with her. And it was scary because even if I'm making that kind of money, it feels like a lot. But I also knew the return on the investment, and I got the return on my investment within a month, you know, so when people see the value in what you do and you hold true to your value and they know that they need you and they're ready, they're going to find a way to make it happen.
Okay.
You know, and that's not saying like, yeah, I mean, I have people in my world that are in like countries that what I charge is more than what they would make in a year, and it just might not happen, but there might be, oh, hi Pragati, but there might be, you know, other things that I can point them towards that they can do, or other people. And sometimes we have to recognize that while we know we can help them, that if our, you know, programs aren't within their reach right now, sometimes our duty is just to help them find what is, you know, and that
Yeah.
sucks because sometimes that means I want that money, but I'm going to give it to someone else. And I'll give you guys an example. And Emily, if you're watching the recording, I potentially might be sending you a referral, but I don't know if it'll happen fast enough. But I had someone, you know, who, you know, wants to work with me and is a virtual assistant. And I know that I could help that person with what they need to do. But my program that I would do to help them would be a one-on-one, and it would be a higher ticket, and it would be more than what they have to spend right now. And I knew that Emily had a program for VA starting this week that is super affordable. And I told them, instead of telling them on me, I told them about Emily, and that, you know, hey, if go watch the video that I did with her yesterday. If it resonates, reach out to her, because I know that it's going to be a really good program. So at the same time, you know, helping them means like, when we are serving also means doing what's best for people. But it's just telling her what's out there. Now, that being said, I've also had scenarios where I knew that I could help someone and I knew that I was meant to help that person, and I find ways to make it work. Sometimes I've given delayed payment plans or extended, like maybe my program is, you know, normally, you know, 3 monthly payments, but they can't make that big of a payment. And I took a chance on them and said, okay, it's a 3-month program, but I'm going to allow you to do 6 months or whatever, you know. So if you know that you can help them and you want to help them and you're willing to find creative ways to do that, you know, you might have a payment plan, but if you really, that person's really motivated to do the work and you think that they're going to do the work and you can make a difference, there's different options out there. So
Cool.
I would go into the call just being open and just showing up from a place of service and knowing
Yeah.
that you're there to help them and tell them about your thing. And I like to ask the question too, when people are like, oh yeah, that sounds so amazing, but I can't afford it right now. And to ask the question, it can feel kind of uncomfortable sometimes, but I think it's a really good question to ask and just say, okay, so from what I'm hearing, like, it's just the money. So if money were not an issue, is this what you think is right for you? And if they say yes, then at that point you can make your call if you want to give them any extenuating circumstances to make it work for them.
Yeah, I have done several like packages before, like last year when I had client where it was like 6 months or 8 months, just because I know they have debt repayment and all that jazz. So I want to be there to help them be debt free, not to make them into a bigger debt cycle. So yeah, but I was just wondering, you know, what will be your thing? So I never heard about, if it wasn't an issue, what will it be a good one? So that's a good thing to say. I didn't know that one.
Because the thing is, sometimes people will say, you know, they'll say things that are just excuses, and sometimes people just say they can't afford it to get out of the call. But this person you've been talking to them for 6 months, they're in your world, they booked this call with you, they obviously think that you can help them somehow.
Yeah.
So chances are she's going to say like, yeah, if money wasn't an issue, I would jump in tomorrow.
Yeah, we have had a few like free calls before. So she pretty much know me really well. Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see, but I wanted to share that win with you
and
guys.
that is amazing. That's amazing that she booked the call with you, and you don't know, like, don't go into it with a preconceived idea of the fact that she can't
Yes,
afford it. Because she booked
definitely.
the call and you might get on that call and she might say, you know what, like, I know that I can't technically afford this, but I also know that the work that I'm going to do with you is going to be what's going to make me be able to afford this. So I'm doing it. I'm
Yeah.
taking a risk.
Yes, that's good.
So don't go in with the preconceived notion that she can't afford it, because she might have found a way already.
Yeah, true. Very true. And even if you have how do you call it? If you're debt free and can save 6 figures, you can still have lots of shoes. Look, girls.
That's an insane amount of shoes.
Yes, they're all like from Italy, or when I travel, this is where I buy my shoes. So when I wear them, I'm like, oh, that was when I was in Venice, or this is where I was there. So that's my little trick. Instead of magnet on the fridge, is shoes.
I love that. Hey, we've all got our things. We've all got our things. I think I own like 5 pairs of shoes now. I've dialed back with the nomad life. It makes it very difficult to to travel with lots of shoes. My husband made me get rid of some. Like, do you want to carry the suitcases full of shoes? Well, no, I don't. So, okay.
That's fair.
Okay, ladies, this has been so fun. Does anyone else have any other questions before we jump off? No, feeling good?
That was good. Yeah. Thank
Good.
you.
And again, utilize Voxer. I'm happy to help with the content, give feedback, and play a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Will
Have
do.
a good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Okay.
Thank
See
you.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.